Hello, Captains. This is the Doctor, and today I'm going to give you a preview of a starship because guess what? We're on Risa. Here I am on Risa during the summer event, and I just got my 1,000 prize vouchers. That's right, I just got my 1,000 prize vouchers so that I can get the free ship that you see right here floating in the sky. So I wanted to do this live, so to speak. Spend the prize vouchers, get the ship, unpack the ship, and give you all a preview of the ship. I have of course never flown this ship before, never used it. I have no idea what to expect, only that I'm going to get it right now. So let's bring up our reputation. We go to this one here. Claim a Vorgon Ryn'kodan carrier, Tier 6. Exchange 1,000 Lolnut prize vouchers 2017 to receive your very own Vorgon Ryn'kodan carrier, Tier 6. I have now done this, so I'm about to get this ship, so let's do this. I actually have a little more than 1,000. I did use some low-buy to get me over that last little edge there that I needed instead of having to wait.
Limited time
hey,
rewards
what can I say?
You can still seek out artifacts, but only for the standard payout.
Thank you, Ferengi. What can I say? I was a little impatient and I did not really want to wait the complete time, so I did use a little bit of low-buy to get myself there. I did not use a lot though, just a little bit to get over that edge so I could save myself a few days. Basically it. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, and here we go. 1,000, which is going to take a while to fill, but if we go back here, oh, it's filled, yay. Okay, collect reward. And there it is. Special Requisition Pack Vorgon Ryn'kodan Carrier Tier 6. Excellent. Here it is in the inventory, and I have to do this. Got him. There we go. What can I say? I'm very happy to finally get this ship. So this package contains one Vorgon Ryn'kodan carrier Tier 6. Unpack the item to receive your ship. So let's unpack it. Hey, there we go. I got the Chickasaw. That's my ship now, the Chickasaw. Congratulations. Chickasaw has been commissioned into service. You may rename it, blah, blah, blah. Base hull is 65,000 on this, so pretty good as a base hull. I wonder what that'll ultimately go up to once I've got it all buffed out, of course. Shield modifiers only 1.05, kind of small for a ship, but it's a carrier, so they typically don't have a large shield modifier anyway. Base turn 6.5. I imagine this is going to turn very slow. 3 weapons, 3 aft, 4 device slots, and 2 hangar bays. So this is a carrier in the true sense. It's got 2 hangar bays, and we'll of course look at the kind of hangar bay ships it comes with, but let's click OK on that. It is now ready to be set up as my primary starship. I'm going to go do all this on Earth. It's just easier to do all this from Earth, so let's go quickly to the Sol system and then to Earth space dock, and we will set this ship up. Sol system, where are you? You're here. And yeah, don't mind that ship right there. You didn't see that. You didn't see that ship. You don't see that ship. Okay? Okay, obviously you see that ship. A preview of what's to come. Let's just leave it at that. A preview of what's to come. Moving on, let's set up our Ryn'kodan here real quick. Very interested to see what this carrier is like. Again, this is just a preview. Obviously, there's no way I'm going to have time to make an epic build out of it at this moment. But we're just going to throw some stuff on it, and we're going to see what it can do. That's basically the point of this video. We're going to throw some stuff on it and just see what it can do real quick. So let's go to, what was it called? The Chickasaw. And let's ready Starship. So now that is our primary ship. Let's come back out here. Chickasaw is now our primary ship. And let's see what this thing's got on it. Obviously, here's a view of it. We'll go into space and see. That's interesting, neat little design there. It's going to be a big ship, isn't it? Yeah. We've got masteries. We've got recharge time reduction for carrier pets. We have hull hit points. We have energy damage and radiation damage resistance. We got shield hit points, so interesting. It's got does have some shield hit points. And then restorative support is the trait. When activating a hull heal, it summons a support probe. And it gives to healed target plus 7.7 hit points per second. And to nearest 3 foes, it gives a negative shield. So it hurts their shields to the enemy within 5 kilometers. Can be summoned once per 30 seconds. But you have to have a hull heal in order for this to be effective. So I'm guessing engineering team, maybe, or engineering support, maybe hazard emitters as well would work with this to enable this restorative support. Let's look at the console. The console is a subphasic defense drone. So it gives you mine and torpedo damage by having it on and shield power settings. It summons a defense drone, a Vorgon support drone that will follow and protect its owner for 20 seconds. While the drone is active, your shields are healed. Your default shield bleed through is 0%, and the drone fires at 2 targets within 4 kilometers every second for Tetrion damage. Okay, so this thing is going to be Tetrion, and I'm just noticing that because obviously the weapons on this thing are also Tetrion based. So if you want to make a thematic Vorgon Ryn'kodan carrier build and use this thing to its full abilities and benefit, I'm guessing if you buff Tetrion damage, you will also buff this drone's Tetrion damage as well. So it sounds like the energy type you want to go with on this ship is going to be Tetrion energy damage. We're looking at a Tetrion build. Now, thankfully, no, wait a minute. On this character, I don't have any Tetrion weapons. Oh, that could be a problem. I've actually got an Antiproton, and actually I see now I forgot to bring over my things from my other ship here. Hold on a second. Need to go back to you real quick and bring off my impulse engine and my warp core. That would be necessary. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'm noticing this ship is going to be good for a Tetrion build. That's what it obviously is made for, and that would buff the drone's ability as well. But I don't think I have Tetrion weapons on this character. I've got Antiproton because I usually do an Antiproton build on this character. This is the Last Doctor. He is my primary engineer, and I usually have all the big ships on him, the cruisers and the carriers I put on this guy. But I don't think I have Tetrion weapons on here. I'm going to have to look in my bank actually and even see if I have Tetrion weapons. If I don't, I'm looking at having to purchase some Tetrion weaponry and build up a Tetrion build on this character. Because obviously I want to use the ship to the best of its ability, and that looks like it's going to be Tetrions. Holy crap, that's full, isn't it? That's plasma. Yeah, plasma. Oh, I do have some Tetrions. Okay. They're older, and they're not very good modifiers for today. These are bad. These are the worst modifiers. Actually, accuracy and crit H. These are not good modifiers. I do have Tetrion weapons, but they're not good modifiers. It would get the job done temporarily. I do have destabilizing Tetrion. Again, accuracy, though. Plasma. Well, I don't know. I don't have the best. Oh, these are Tetrion. No, these are Polaron. Well, okay, so I don't have the best Tetrion weapons on this character. I do have it on my main character, but I don't on this one. So that means, yeah, I'm going to be looking at a long process of trying to get some better weapons for this ship. Well, anyway, I don't have Tetrions right now, so I can't use them. No use crying over spilled milk. Let's just set up my Antiproton build, and let's take this thing out in a little bit of battle here. Do something with it and see what it is like. So I'm just getting rid of all the stuff that's on here. I wish there was a like rip all or delete all button for items like this, because I just want to get rid of everything and start all over. Get rid of all the junk it comes with. Now, of course, we'll leave the hangars, and it looks like we've got Vorgon Ryn'kodan frigates. 2 times Tetrion beam arrays, again with the Tetrion damage, so definitely want to make this a Tetrion build to benefit the most. 1 Tetrion dual beam bank, 1 Tetrion beam bank, 1 Chronoton mine launcher, so it's using Chronotons on these frigates. Mine dispersal pattern and suppression barrage. I'm seeing some mine stuff on here. Now, I don't do mines, but if you did, this ship might be good for it with some mine abilities. Suppression barrage. They are level 61 Vorgon frigates. And of course, I've got 2 deployed ships at a given time. Each hangar supports 2, so I got 4 wings basically. Now, if I do dilithium store, I bet there's a better dilithium version of these. Yes, here we go. Advanced Vorgon Ryn'kodan frigates. 2 times Tetrion beam bank 4, 1 Tetrion dual beam bank, 1 Tetrion beam array aft, 1 Chronoton mine launcher. They get mine dispersal pattern alpha 2 and suppression barrage 2, and they can only cost 25,000 dilithium for the better frigates. Now, obviously, I'm going to be getting not only... I'm actually probably going to go for the fleet version of the frigates, which will be even better, so I'm not going to spend that dilithium right now, but we'll look at the fleet version, because I'm definitely going to be going for the fleet version. Okay, so anyway, I don't have Tetrion weapons right now. I will in the future, of course. This is not a proper review of the ship. This is just a test. This is just a test right now, so I don't even want to put all this in here like this, but I'm going to because it's all I have right now. So I'm just going to put all this in here so we can take this thing into combat and try it out. But obviously it's not the build that I would want on this right this second. It's just all that I can do right now. Just so that I can preview this ship for you guys, because I know you're interested in what this thing might be capable of. So I'm just going to put everything from my previous build onto this one. There we go. That's not terrible. 1 more slot there for it. Something in engineering. I don't know what I have. What can I put in there? I can put an EPS. I've got plenty of EPS, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't have anything else in here that I want to put in there right now. And I guess I just won't put anything right now. Again, we're just doing this to demonstrate the ship. You know, a preview of it, and in the future we'll do a proper build. This is just so that I can show you what it looks like and show you how it performs in battle, maybe what the powers do and that sort of thing, because I'm interested myself. The first thing I want to do is let's go see if there's any customizations we can do visually to the ship. I'm curious if we can do anything here. Let me make sure, actually, make sure my visual thingies are turned off. Disable visuals. Disable visuals. No, I don't want that. I want customize Starship. Okay. So here it is. Very long and pointy. That is for sure. I like that view of it though. It's got a nice profile to it too. It's a nice looking ship. See, we cannot change any templates on here. We cannot change any windows. Does have a unique Vorgon bridge. We'll have to look at that. And it only has 1 type of material, so you cannot even change a different material on this thing. So what that means is if you really want to change the aesthetics of this thing, you're going to have to put a unique shield on it with a shield visual. You can do that, however. You can take off the Vorgon pattern and make it look like that. The color really doesn't change it, though, does it? No, color doesn't change it. So you can do that, or you can do that. Okay, now this color does change the Vorgon pattern. So you can do that to change the color. So that's something you can do to it. You can go with a Vorgon pattern and then change the color of that Vorgon pattern. Like, look at that, something like that, you know. And then this, yeah, that changes the other part of it. So you can do some color variations of the ship. Definitely you can do some color variations. Or you could turn it to none and just leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it at default right now, but that's all you can pretty much do to it visually. And then, like I said, you can use a shield to make it look different further, a shield visual. By putting in the visual slot here, you can put a shield in here. And I might try that with this Terran shield and see what that looks like. Let's look at the bridge officer. Obviously, I'm going to need stations here. So it looks like we have a commander engineering, and then an ensign engineering. And it looks like we have, what is that? Is that command? Is that a command officer? And it's universal. Let's put my tactical here. My science here. And it looks like, yeah, we've got a universal slot. Oh, it's temporal. Not command, it's temporal. So we can put a universal person here of any career type, or a temporal ops. You could train them in temporal stuff too. Now, I don't have a temporal operative on this character. Well, maybe I do. I take that back. I do. No, I don't. Oh, that's weird. Is that not... Is that not... No, that's not temporal. Never mind. So I do not have a temporal operative. I think that's command. Yeah, I don't have a temporal operative on this character. So this ship supports a lieutenant temporal operative, but I don't have one. I'm just going to go ahead and use it for my another tack position, probably. I'll figure all that out later. I mean, obviously, I'm going to have to go through my powers, but you can support a lieutenant temporal. I might train one up and see what I can put there. Okay, now as for my specializations, I'm using intelligence and pilot. I think I'm going to switch to... Oh, I don't have all of command opened up. Never mind. I'll just keep intelligence for right now. Intelligence and pilot. And pilot's going to give me a bit of a turn rate boost, plus 40%, which I think I'm really going to want on this ship. So let's go into space and just see what I got. Obviously, not a final build, nowhere near a final build. This is just the throwing everything on right now for the heck of it so we can just try it out in space. That's pretty much it. I'm just throwing everything on right now. It ain't perfect, but it gets the job done temporarily. Okay, so here is the ship, and it is large. If we zoom all the way out, that's what it looks like zoomed all the way out. This is zoomed all the way in, believe it or not. Oh yeah, it's slow. It's definitely slow. Look at that turn rate. Even with, now this is with the 40% turn rate boost from the pilot specialization. This is with that buff, and it's still turning this slow. So that just shows you that this is definitely going to be a slow moving ship. It's a carrier, so that's what you're going to get out of it. And this is with that turn rate buff. I just can't believe that is slow. That is slow, but I really expected no less, honestly. It looks like it's different colors and different light. If we look at it this way, it's like pinkish and whitish and greenish. But then if I look at it this way, then it's orange and red. Orange, more orange, actually. So that's weird. You look at it at different angles in the light and it changes colors. I don't like this color of it, but I like this color. It almost looks like fur. Literally, the texture almost looks like fur on the ship, doesn't it? I like it like that, but I don't like it looking like that. I'm just trying to get a good visual for it, see how this all kind of looks. I like the shape of it, and I like looking at it from the back. It's got a good profile. It's like a batarang from the back, actually. That's actually a very cool view. From the front, I mean, that looks really, really cool, actually. It's got a good design to it. It really does. It's the kind of... I like the design. The A+ on the design. I like the way this thing looks. It looks great. Okay, let's launch the fighters and take a look at them. So I have to wait for it to cool down to launch more. They're pretty big. They're big frigates, actually. So it's not a whole bunch of little fighters. You get big frigates. And I guess we get 4 total. These are actually pretty decently sized. Look at them. They're like little versions of this ship. There it is. That looks really cool. That is a cool looking ship right there. Yeah, that is really cool looking. I like those little ones. So we should be able to fire off 4 of these. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not all here. How are they? Why is it not showing all of them? I'm not sure if maybe I have to have 2 of these up. Ah, yeah. Yeah, so you actually have, for your HUD, you actually have like 2 hangar bay things here. Like that. 2 separate ones for the frigates, because these are pretty big ships. They have shields around them. They have a hull strength. What is their hull strength? Wow, they got a 42,000 hull strength. I mean, that's as much as some escorts. That's as much as the default base on some escorts. So these frigates mean business, guys. These mean business. These things, I bet, can do a lot of damage. Now, remember, they're using Tetrion weaponry. So ultimately, I need to put Tetrion consoles here to boost their damage. So today, we're not going to see their full damage, because I'm not boosting Tetrion damage at all. But in the future, maybe so. In the future, for sure. Okay, let's look at the console. Where's that console at? Subphasic defense drone. Now, I can't launch it here, because I guess we have to be in combat. So, I can't do anything with that here. We'll have to go into combat for that. Let's look at my stats here. Wow, I already have a 104,977 hull. So that's definitely up from the base 60,000. Power transfer rate is good. My shield strength is not terrible. Could be better, though. My defenses are pretty high. My crit severity and crit chance are right there. My turn rate when I'm moving is 11.7. So it is buffed from the default. But even with the buff, it's still kind of slow. But it's a carrier, so I guess we expect that, don't we? And of course, I don't have the masteries unlocked yet, but one of these will add more shield hit points, and one adds hull hit points, I think, too. So that will increase over time. And of course, the trait to unlock. So there's some potential here. Okay, cool. Let me enable all my weapons. And we'll take this thing into combat. I mean, obviously, nothing here is organized in my hotbar. Just got the ship and all. Look at my frigates following me. But let's take this into a patrol anyway, and let's just try it out. I want to launch the drone and see what it does. Obviously, we won't be able to see what the Starship trait does yet because I don't have that trait yet. But we can at least see what the console does. It's a shiny ship. Here in sector space, it's very shiny. Warp 12.82. Definitely has a good profile to it. Looks really good all around. So this will just be a quick test here. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the fighters. And we're going to see the fighters fight. Now, obviously, we won't be seeing their full damage because I don't have Tetrions buffed. But we can at least see what they do when they're fighting. I will also launch the drone, and we'll see what that does when it's launched. It's pretty much all I can show right now until I get everything else unlocked. Like the Starship trait. And get a proper Tetrion build going on this thing. Okay, now I can launch the drone. Let's launch everything before we go into battle here. Let's get everything ready. I'm actually not going to attack the ship. I'm going to let my frigates do it. They're already buffing their powers. See that? They're buffing their bridge officer powers. And they buffed some powers there too already. Now let's launch the probe. Whoa, cool. Okay. Now let's go to battle. Okay, guys, do your thing. Oh, they're way back there. What are they doing way back there? Oh, I gotta tell them to attack. Duh. I'm stupid. Come on, guys. Attack already. There they go.
Right shields failing. 4 shields failing. Rear shields failing. Left shields failing.
There they go. Okay. Nice. Destroyed. Well, they're doing a good job. They're actually doing a really good job.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Look at him go. Look at him go. Wow. They're doing good. Oh, look, they got mines. There's the Chronoton mines. Okay, here goes the probe again. I want to see it fire on the enemy too. It's supposed to fire on them, I think. I'm not sure. There it goes.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Wow, it did. It fired on him.
Warning, ship is under attack. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed.
Well, that wasn't bad at all. That was very cool, actually. So I do like the frigates. They seem to be very powerful, and the probe seems to heal me. I like the little visual effect it has. It's really cool. And I did see it fire on the enemy. I'm not sure we saw it real good, but we did see it at one point fire on the enemy. I want to do it one more time because I really want to see the probe in action. I want to see it fire. I want to make sure. Let me read this right. Make sure I'm reading this thing correctly, though. Okay, your shields are healed. We saw that. The bleed through on our shield goes to 0, and it fires at 2 targets within 4 kilometers every second. So only 2 targets, but they has to be within 4 kilometers. So that's the kicker on the drone. It needs to be real close to the enemy for it to work. So let's get close to the enemy on this one and try it this time. See what the probe does in terms of damage. We've seen what the frigates do. They're really good. Now let's see what the drone does. And these are just the bottom feeder frigates. These aren't even the top fleet version. I want to go see what the fleet version of these frigates can do. That's definitely what I'm going to shoot for. I'm going to get those. Come on, load time. So far, this is looking like a pretty good carrier. Obviously, you just have to get used to the maneuverability of it. I like a fast-turning ship. I like a fast ship. That's just kind of how I play, but, you know, people like certain different kinds of ships. I think as far as a carrier goes, this could be pretty good. Alright, I'm not going to launch the frigates this time. This time I'm just going to launch the probe, but I'm going to do it near this guy. It's still too far away. Dang. Well, I launched it too far away. That probe is really hard to get it to fire on the enemy because I thought I launched it within enough space, but apparently I still launched it too far away. Darn it. I'm going to try again. Let's let it cool down, and we'll try again. I just want to see what kind of damage it can do when it fires on a big enemy like a Dideridex. Let's actually abandon this so we can start all over again. I'll do better this time. Yeah, you have to. That's really one of the caveats here of this particular weapon is you have to, or in order to use it as a weapon, I should say, it's not. I mean, it is a weapon, but at the same time, it's supposed to heal you. I guess you can use it as a weapon. But in order to use it as a weapon, the enemy has to be 4 kilometers around you. It's really close. So, usually in a carrier, you may not be that close to the enemy. Because you want to let your hangar do the work. So I'm not sure how useful the probe will be as a weapon. But it will definitely help heal you. So there's that. But let's see. I do want to see what this drone can do as a weapon. That.
Ship is under attack.
There we go. Well, it got destroyed very fast. Holy crap. Okay. Well, that didn't last long.
Target's shields have failed.
Probe time again.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
Well, I think that was the best demonstration so far of the probe, or the drone. It looks like what the drone is best at is taking out the smaller craft rather than the bigger craft with its little weaponry that it has. Obviously, the primary goal of the drone is to heal you, which it does do quite well. And then the frigates, I'm really impressed with the frigates, and these are just the lowest ones you have. There's, of course, the dilithium version and then the fleet version, which should be even better. And it looks like we just ranked up. Yep, we got the recharge time reduction to launching carrier pet crafts, plus 50% rank up XP for all hangar pets as well. That's the quick deployment trait is now already unlocked just doing those 2 patrols. I now have a quick deployment unlocked out of the masteries. Of course, I'll get all of them eventually, and then we'll test the trait. The last thing to do is I do want to go to the fleet starbase real quick and just look at the carrier pets and what they do at the fleet level, because those are typically the best ones you can buy, are the fleet version. And we'll see what these are capable of, but they do disperse mines. I saw the ships dispersing mines, so that's cool that they do that for you. And if you had some mine bridge officer powers, that could be interesting there as well. But I like the fact that they do that. That kind of spreads them out into places you're not, which is good. Alright, let's look at these hangars, probably toward the bottom. Yes. Elite Vorgon Ryn'kodan frigates, 2 times Tetrion beam arrays, 4 1 Tetrion dual beam 4, 1 Tetrion beam aft, 1 Chronoton mine launcher aft, mine dispersal pattern alpha 3, and suppression barrage 3. So 2 abilities there, and it's tier 3 abilities. So auxiliary power level will determine recharge rate. All carrier pets are immune to warp core breaches and have layered defenses 3, which makes them immune to a single torpedo hit every 30 seconds. So there you go. Elite Vorgon Ryn'kodan. Now they are 100,000 fleet credits and then 38,000 dilithium, but obviously it is going to be worth it. I don't have enough dilithium right now, but I'll get some, and I'm going to get both. I'm going to get 2 of these. I will get 2 of those, and we will, of course, be able to do that. Let's take a look at the bridge. I have to be not in here to do that, huh? I do want to look at the unique Vorgon Bridge. Who left all those tribbles out? It's going to cause a problem. How do I get out of here? Talk to transporter operator, beam to ship. So this looks like it's going to be a very capable carrier. You saw during those 2 patrols, I was really doing well, and I don't even have this thing any kind of normalcy going on there in the build. I mean, just threw stuff on it from the last build, and it seems to be working okay. So I'm sure it can be tweaked a lot better, but I mean, just throwing everything on seems to be working pretty good. And don't forget that temporal bridge officer seating that it does have, Lieutenant Temporal. I may go ahead and train up an officer so that I can test out some of the temporal abilities, but that gives this ship just a little more. Why can't I visit the bridge? Oh, I have to go all the way out. With the temporal bridge officer seating, that gives it just a little more flexibility in its abilities there. Makes it also a little more temporally based, since it is a Vorgon ship. They're from the 27th century, so that gives it a little bit more of a futuristic feel there. Visit Starship Bridge. Wow, that is certainly a unique bridge. No doubt about it. So you sit inside these information bubbles. See if I can get all the way inside. Come on. I'm stuck. What am I stuck on? I'm stuck in a wall. So cool. And you have all the information flowing around you in a holographic display. That makes sense. Account bank, library files. These are my bridge officers. Oh, and it's all feeding into this like network of holographic displays and stuff. It's really cool. A really cool concept. Select a small craft. Contact duty officers. Something. And I guess this is my seating. Again, though, no chair. Well, I keep running into ships that have no chairs. What is the deal with no chairs on a bridge? Interesting bridge. I don't know. It's a kind of coloring and design that I would like. I'd kind of get sick of it after a while, to be honest with you. But I like the holographic displays, and again, the screen is too small. Do not like a small view screen. I like a huge view screen, very wide, and I like a real window instead of an actual view screen. But that's my preference. Anyway, this is the bridge. At least it's a unique bridge, and it's good when we get unique bridges in Star Trek Online, because they're not often there. So that's cool anyway. So that's it, my friends. This is the Vorgon Ryn'kodan. I guess that's how you say it. I mean, Ryn, R-Y-N, Kodan, Ryn'kodan, Ryn'kodan, I don't know any other way to say it. But that's the free summer event ship, and this has just been a preview of this ship. I will, of course, work on a good build for this ship, Tetrion build, and I will put everything to use on this ship, and I will come back with a full review later on one day once I get this all buffed up and figured out and try everything out myself on it. Then I'll do a full review of the ship. But for now, that gives you an idea of what to expect out of this ship. You'll know what it does, you know how it flies, and you can determine if you want to use this as your primary ship or not. And it was the free summer event ship. So that's what you got right there, folks. Well, leave a comment and let me know what you think of this ship. Do you have it? Have you done the summer event? Do you have the ship? Do you fly it? And what are your thoughts of this carrier? Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.